Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. And I've got a little break between Spanish classes, and I thought I'd just pop on to give you the latest in the situation with Jay Slater, which is the young boy, 19-year-old boy, British boy from Lancashire in the UK, in the north of England. And he was on holiday in Tenerife, a very popular Spanish holiday destination. He went to a musical festival, supposedly went off with a couple of two English boys, according to the Spanish press, went off somewhere in the car with them. Then he decided he was going to try and walk back to where he was staying the following day. This is what we sort of know so far. Misjudged how far it was to get back to where he was staying, and hasn't been seen since. So the last communication that was had with him was when he phoned his friend and said he had only 1% battery, he had no water, he was lost, he didn't know where he was, he'd hurt his leg apparently on a cactus. And that's it. He's not been heard from since. So this was on Monday morning. Now, of course, every day that passes, it is getting more and more worrying, because I must admit, when I first started covering this story on Tuesday, I felt full-heartedly that Jay would be found fine, just wandering around, got lost. But it's strange now, because we're on Thursday now. This is the fourth day. And every day that passes, his family must be getting more and more worried sick, because it's another day that he's not had water, or if he's fallen over, he's not had medical attention, etc. So I'm just going to update you with some of the things that have been said over the past couple of days. Of course, this case is capturing a lot of attention on social media, and we know that whenever that happens, there's like a shitstorm goes on as well. There's so many people saying things that aren't true. I think part of it is for the language barrier. There's problems about GoFundMes. There's people ringing Jay's family and making a joke of it and saying that they've kidnapped him because he owes them money. It's just like, this is a 19-year-old boy missing. His family are worried sick, and anything could have happened to him. And these sort of cases, they bring out the best of people and the worst of people, don't they, unfortunately? Anyway, I'm going to take my little banner off here. I just want to say, as always, thank you to all of you who are subscribed to my channel, who watch. Don't forget to like. Special thank you to my members. Got members live later on tonight at 9 o'clock Spanish time. The Thursday night members live, if anyone wants to take part in that. We're going to be discussing the next instalment of the papers from the Madeleine Soto, the documents from Madeleine Soto's case. Very interesting interviews coming up with Stefan's parents, Stefan's friend, Jen's housemate, etc. So that's the members live later on tonight. Of course, in the meantime, if anything comes up about Jay, any news that comes up about Jay, I will be on to tell you about where as soon as I can. So thank you to all my members, and a thank you to everyone who's bought me a Ko-fi, sent a super sticker, sent me an email, dropped a nice comment. Anyone who supported my channel in any way, thank you so much. Let's have a look at Jay first of all, while I say hello to everyone. So this is the young lad in question. 19 years old. The thing is, we've all either been there, or we've got sons or daughters that could be there, go out, get drunk, maybe, take a few drugs, who knows, go to a rave, go back to friends, missed the last bus. I mean, I'm not saying he missed the last bus. I don't think there are any buses, but decide, you know, we're going to walk home, get into problems one way or another, get lost. Or has he thought, you know, has some foul play befallen him? Has he tripped over? Is he just lost somewhere wandering around? We just don't know what's happened to Jay. You know, 1 minute he was there, but if you look at where he was, you know, the more I've looked into this and where he was when his telephone last pinged, he was on a road. He was on a road. The place where he supposedly has gone missing is a popular hiking trail. So, you know, certainly in the mornings there would be people around. So it's a bit of a mystery, really, why he has not been found so far. Now that it's coming into this 4th day, seems a bit mysterious. But you know, I don't want to think that anything has befallen him. We have to stay positive. I'm going to light the candle for him now. So this is for Jay, to guide him home. Please, God, guide him home. I may say you know, we said a prayer for him the other day. I may say that again at the end of this. Hopefully Jay will be found soon and he'll be safe and well. Be a story to tell his friends, you know, and his grandchildren, his own children and grandchildren when he gets older. Oh, I remember when I got lost in Tenerife and I thought I didn't realise it was 10 hours walk to where I was staying. You know, it wouldn't be the first time that some young person had got lost, but eventually had found their way home okay. Okay, I'm just going to say hello to everyone and then I'm going to start looking at this. Hi, Fragaria. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Rini. Hi, Julie. So, yeah, some candles for Jay. Light some candles or put your candles on your emojis. You know, and if the thing is, in this case, if best wishes, if you like, could find someone, he would be found by now, because this has just, you know, captured so many people's attention. I've had messages, comments on my channel from people in America. You know, it's not only Britain, Spain, etc., that are rooting, if you like, for Jay and his family. It's all over the world. It's one of those. It's captured the man. I think when it's a case like this, you know, such a, you know, a relatable thing. It's so relatable because, as I say, either we will have been in this position some point ourselves when we were younger, or we have children who might get in the, you know, young adult children or grandchildren even. We can all, or brothers or cousins, you know, we can all relate to this. I mean, you know, the thought of how Jay's family must be feeling is incredible. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Gillian. Hi, White Raven. So I want to start, first of all, by having a look at the Facebook page. So there's this official, of course, lots of Facebook pages now are being set up, but the J Slater Missing only official group, which is supposedly, you know, authorized by his family, that's the one, that's the only one I'm looking at, to be honest. But even that, even though it's supposed that, you know, there's been lots of weird and wonderful things, you know, on there. Now it's an open group, it's a public group. So I'm going to show some things off there. I don't feel like putting, it's public and anyone can see who's in the group and what they post. So I don't feel like I'm, you know, displaying names of people who don't want their names to be seen or whatever. It's a public group. So, but I want to have a look at it because, let's see, there are 306. Let me put this group up. So bearing in mind, well, Lynn, sorry, hi Lynn. Do you know that for a fact? I don't know that. Where's the evidence of that? So I'd have to see the evidence of that. You know, if you can't, you shouldn't really say things like that unless you've got evidence. So we're going to have this is the trouble. This is I think it's quite likely that he probably was taking some recreational drugs, but I don't know that either. We've got to stick to the facts. Got to stick to the facts. We can't go besmirching Jay's name or anyone's name until we know for certain, until that's been, you know, properly confirmed, not just what somebody said on Facebook. I won't be taking that as gospel. Dear me. Okay, I'll have a Google in a minute. Anyway, let's have a look at the Facebook page. So what we've got to bear in mind is it always turns into a shitstorm, these missing persons things. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a 19-year-old boy who's missing, but I will Google that. And look at it. So Facebook, bearing in mind this only happened Monday, there are now 362.6 thousand members of this group. It's a lot of people, isn't it? You know, just literally in a couple of days, how that 362,000.6 members. Now, of course, there's been, you can imagine what it's been like on this Facebook group. Now, something that I'm concerned about is, first of all, it was saying that Jay's mother does not want a GoFundMe set up, so do not donate to one. Then it turns out a GoFundMe was set up not by Jay's family, but by somebody else who defrauding people. A GoFundMe was set up. Now another GoFundMe has been set up by supposedly by Jay's friend who he went there on holiday with. Now, I can see where they'll need funds if they've got to stay, you know, they'll have had to fly out there and they'll have had to stay there. I mean, they can't leave, can they, while their son's missing or their friend's missing or the family's missing. But I'm very, you know what I think. GoFundMes, to me, they always go wrong. You know, they're set up often with the best of intentions, not always. You know, we just heard of a GoFundMe set up in Australia over a woman who was murdered there in Ballarat, same place as Samantha Murphy. Then it turns out the guy who set it up, he stole the money from it. You know, personally, I don't donate to GoFundMes ever. I don't think I've ever donated to one for that simple reason. I would if it was. I'd have to know the person. You know, I'd have to personally know the person and know, you know, what the money was for. You know, and it's awful because I can see how they would need money, but it just always sits uneasy because you don't. I'd rather give someone money directly through PayPal or whatever to somebody that I know rather than go to a GoFundMe. So I'm telling you about the GoFundMe. There is a GoFundMe now set up by his friend. I'm not recommending to you that you donate, but some people like to donate, so it's completely up to you. So this is what he's wearing. So he's wearing this T-shirt. Apparently, we looked at his last TikTok video where it showed what he was wearing when he went missing. Now there's been some here. Let's see. There's been a video was at last night. Honestly, literally, I thought we were going to find out that it'd been found because this video came out. Somebody saying they thought this might be Jay. It's some CCTV footage. Let's hope it's him. See, this is the problem now. When it's like with the Sebastian Rogers case, with all these cases that become high profile, they turn into a bit of a shit show, don't they? It's like, oh, now how can that be Jay walking, you know, past people and through somewhere where there's, surely would go and ask for help, go and ask for someone to phone the police or do something. But last night when I first saw that, and it literally in the middle of the night when I saw it, I didn't sleep well last night because I just kept checking the Facebook page and the news, the Spanish news, to see if anything had come up. And I saw this and I thought, oh, that's brilliant. And then when I thought about it, I thought, how can it be him? So anyway, it doesn't look like it was. Otherwise, I'm sure the Spanish news would have released something about it. Okay. So, yes, so there's been, on this Facebook page, it's been one thing after another. And as you can imagine, you get people on there saying horrible things. You get people arguing with each other, this, that, the other. And, you know, I don't really like that. I just want, at the end of the day, it is a boy who's gone missing. Maybe he's not the best boy in the world. Maybe he has done things that bad. But, you know, he's still a mother out there looking for a son as far as I can see. So, you know, I just hope that he is found okay. Now, I'm going to Google that, what you were talking about there. Okay, so it's here on the Daily Record. Let's see. God, what is it with these young people and machetes, for fuck's sake? Let's see, was it definitely him? Let me just check. Okay, I'm going to show this then. Hi, Charlie. Let's have a look. Where is this? Right, I'm going to share this. Let's have a look. So, 8 thugs who split a boy's head open with a machete dodged jail. So the teens were slapped with community service after attacking Tom Hilton, who was 17 at the time, with a machete, an axe and a golf club. Oh, God, what is going on with young people? Seriously. I blame it on marijuana. I don't care what anyone says. People think marijuana is okay. It's not okay for young people. It's not. Anyway, 8 teenagers who brutally attacked another teen with a machete, axe and a golf club have been handed community sentences. Well, there's your first problem right there. So that, what? You attack someone with a machete, axe and a golf club and you get a community sentence. Anyway, Tom Hilton, who was 17 at the time of the attack, suffered a head injury so serious his skull was exposed and wounds to his shoulders and legs in the attack close to the old paper mill in Hermitage Street, Rishton, in August 2021. So it's 3 years ago. So he would have been 16, this boy, Jay. Preston Crown Court heard that Mr. Hilton had gone to the mill, a popular meeting place for local teens to look for a teenage girl. However, as he arrived, he was chased by a group of boys he later described like a pack of gorillas. He ran through the woods and onto the road where the gang caught up with him, the court heard. So we've got Connor Armstrong. You can't see him very well on that picture. This boy looks about 7. I mean, for God's sake, James Meager looks so young. This is just what I think, you know what? I don't recognise this world. You know, when we were his age, when I was that sort of age, I wouldn't have been going around with a machete. So at the time, around 50 young people were in the area, and as the gang of 8 surrounded Mr. Hilton, each either attacked him directly with weapons or fists or encouraged the others. And Judge Philip Parry said they acted together. Through a trial at Preston Crown Court, all 8 laughed and joked in a way that the judge said showed disrespect. Here's Jay. Oh, yeah, well, you know, it's because of people like him that these dogs are, you know, now banned. They're thinking that dog's an extension of his button mushroom. I have to have at the forefront of my mind the fact that most of you were children when you committed these offences. I make it very, very clear that all 8 of you have behaved disgracefully in relation to the violent disorder, but also intimidation of witnesses, supply of Class A drugs and street robbery. Well, you know what? They're lucky they didn't kill him. You should all 8 be thoroughly ashamed of yourselves, but I am not at all convinced you are. Many of you have found these proceedings amusing throughout the trial and yesterday and today, showing disrespect to the court. I hope for the sake of all your families, the public, and the people who have offered you jobs and apprenticeships, and the sort that you all grow up. Each one of you deserves to be sent to youth detention. Some of you played a more active role in the violent disorder than others. Some of you carried weapons, some wore balaclavas. But the serious of this is the group nature of it. As a group, you were all more threatening than you would have been as individuals. Well, 8 against 1, it's a bit cowardly, isn't it, to say the least. The judge said that if the group had been convicted of the more serious charge of Section 18 wounding, they would have all gone to youth custody. However, he said he took a rehabilitative approach when sentencing them for violent disorder and further offences, including witness intimidation, attempted robbery, and conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. I think drugs are the scourge of the modern society, especially for young people. He told them today is going to be a life-changing or life-defining event for you all. You all have a chance to go into a lawful and law-abiding direction. Now, I'm hoping that since then they have. I mean, this is awful. Hopefully since then they have learnt their lesson, but we don't know. I expect details will come out. I can almost feel the sense of relief from your families and supporters in the public gallery who all expected you to go to custody today. As I said earlier, you all richly deserve to. You know, and I do feel for the families because sometimes you do the best you can, but people, especially young people, you know, they just get in with crap. When kids are this age, their friends are more important than their parents. You know, they might have the best parents in the world, but all they care about is their peer group. And if they get in with the wrong peer group, you know, it's difficult. You still hope that your child would know not to use a machete on someone. Sorry, I was trying to find the sentences then and it's flicked up and it won't let me go back down. Hang on. Yeah, so that's Jay Slater. 18. No, this can't be the same Jay Slater. It says he's 18. Says he's 18, but he's only 19 now. When was this? Is that the same guy? It looks like him. Is it the same Jay Slater? I'm just asking, I don't know, because oh no, the date on it now is 2024. Is this when they've just been sentenced? So I'm getting all confused now. But anyway, certainly looks like that Jay Slater. I'm sure somebody will let me know one way or another. But anyway, from what I can gather, what he received, 18-month community order with 25 days rehabilitation services, activities, and 150 hours unpaid work. but I don't know exactly when the sentencing was. Okay, so we, having said all that, if that is the same Jay Slater, I do believe it doesn't matter. Still hope he gets found safe and well. But what I was saying at the beginning of this, each day that passes, it does make you wonder, why has he not been found so far? Now, if he went off with these two boys who apparently went off with, maybe it was to do, you know, drug connected or to have more drinks or whatever. But looking at where his phone last pinged, why has he not been found? Anyway, I'm just going to show you this from the Manchester Evening News, this video, just so that we get a little sort of, just to remind us what happened. It's very sad. It's very sad for his family. Well, it's sad for him, but where is he? Where is this boy?
Search is continuing for a teenager missing in Tenerife. Jay Slater, 19, disappeared on Monday morning after a night out. On Sunday, June 16th, Jay had attended the final day of the 3-day Energy Festival at the Papagayo Tenerife Beach Club. This was close to his accommodation, but friends said he left in a rented car with new friends he had met. Snapchat video shows Jay laughing and smiling at around 8:35 p.m. on the Sunday. The clip showed the teenager wearing a grey sports top with a light green strip on the shoulders and a black bag. His friend Lucy was messaging with him on Snapchat before his phone ran out of battery. Before Jay's phone died, he told Lucy he didn't know where he was. His phone was last tracked in rural Deteno Park, a mountainous area of the island which is popular with hikers. Jay's mum Debbie and brother Zach have flown out to the island to help with the efforts to find him. Agents from the Special Mountain Intervention Rescue Group have been deployed. Drones, dogs and helicopters are also being used in a search led by the Guardia Civil. So far, they have been focusing on the surroundings of Masca in the municipality of Buenavista del Norte. Jay's family are being supported by the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development.
Yeah, now the Spanish police are throwing everything at this. I mean, they are searching for him big. There's he's on the SOS list of disappeared persons. I'm going to show you that in a minute. That's, you know, so there's been posters, Spanish posters distributed. It'll be distributed all over Spain. It's all over the Spanish news, not only in Tenerife, but even now in mainland Spain. I'm going to show you some of the articles. So they certainly couldn't say that the Spanish police aren't trying their best to look for him. I'll just watch the end of this and then I'll tell you what happened yesterday. There was a false sighting of him yesterday, according to the Spanish news.
Follow for more.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so yeah, apparently yesterday a young boy was spotted in a taxi in Los Americanos, and it was thought that it could be him, it could be Jay. So the Guardia Civil went and investigated this, but they traced down that particular boy who got into a taxi in Los Americanos. He's 19 as well, but it is not Jay. So that was a false sighting that's been eliminated, if you like, from their inquiries. So now they are back concentrating on this area, this park. But as I say, very popular with hikers. It's not a place where people don't go. You know, it's not desolate. And he was last seen on the road there. So it's quite strange, you know, that nobody's found him. There's been no trace of him. Right, I'm going to read you this article now. It's a Spanish article. Obviously, I'll translate it. I'll read it out to you what they say in this. They've done quite a lot of articles in this particular paper. You know, online paper. I mean, I don't buy papers. I've been investigating a lot online and it's all over the online news. This is a particular publication from Tenerife. It's a Diario de Avisos, el periódico de Tenerife. So, but it's saying they made public is the last video in which appeared Jay Slater, the young man who disappeared in Tenerife. Jay Slater abandoned the party that he went to on Sunday night. Abandoned means left, not abandoned. So he left the party on Sunday night with two English boys that he had met. So what they're saying is, and again, I'm only reading out the article, he left the party with two boys he had never met before. Now, young people do things like that, don't they? You make friends at a party and that, you don't think, you don't know them. I mean, these two boys, who were they? I'm presuming the police have tracked them down or are talking to them or something. But fancy just going off with two boys that you don't know. Two people that you don't know. But I'm saying fancy doing that. I've done it myself when I was young. Your brains are just not quite formed properly, are they, when you're 19 years old? Anyway, so novelties over the disappearance of Jay Slater in Tenerife, a false clue, and now that false sighting. This is the problem with people making, we saw him here, or we saw him there, or we think we saw him there. It distracts the police from the actual search, because there's only so many. I suppose we've only got so many resources. When this sighting was in Los Americanos, the Guardia Civil had to go off to Los Americanos, or some of them anyway, to investigate that, because they have to chase down every lead. The Guardia Civil, which is the Spanish police, they said everything's on the table. They're not ruling anything out. They're just sort of, investigating every lead. But of course, that meant that they had to go investigate that. Now they're back really where they started from. Yeah. El punto de partida is, back to the starting blocks, if you like. And the mother of Jay Slater, the young person disappeared in Tenerife, asked for help. I am living an absolute nightmare. So Tenerife finds itself in full mobilisation to find Jay Slater, a British boy of 19 years old, who disappeared on Monday in the rural park of Tenno, according to information from the authorities and the emergency services 112. In the search, there are search dogs, various helicopters and rescue teams that are combing the zone. The programme Good Morning Britain, it makes me laugh how they reference a British programme, shared the last video. Now, I shared it. It's on my channel. The last Snapchat of Jay is on my channel in my videos. I think I released that last night. Because it shows what he was wearing. So it's important for that reason as well, apart from being, the last video that we know of him since before he went missing. It does show what he was wearing. So Good Morning Britain showed the last video that Jay published on his social media on Snapchat, where he was smiling a day before his disappearance. I mean, he seemed to be having a great time, but, who knows? Maybe he did get into trouble. Maybe he did get involved with the wrong people. Maybe, has he sort of grown up from that incident that he had when he was 16? Yeah, hopefully he has grown up from that. I still don't understand how young people go out with axes and machetes. When I was a young person, we used to go and knock on people's doors and run away. Or we used to phone up people with a famous surname. Like I've phoned someone with the surname, look in the phone book for Nightingale and ring up and say, is Florence there? These are the things we did when we were like 15 or whatever. Not bloody going and attacking people with machetes. What has happened in Britain? I mean, seriously, this is not the first case, is it? What are these young people doing? What has happened? that young people, you know, we might not have, it's a good job we don't have guns in Britain and they'd all be out shooting each other, you know, and this is nothing to do with immigrants either, by the way. You know, people are always critical of immigrants. These are not immigrants. You know, these are young boys. Why are they doing that? How do they get to that point where they'll go out with a machete and an axe to attack somebody else? Where do you get to that point? At 16 years old. Anyway, Jay had travelled to the Canaries to attend the music festival New Rave Generation along with two female friends, dos amigas. This event, 3 days duration, unites various artists of international fame. According to the information gathered, Jay Slater, stop moving down. Jay Slater left the party on Sunday night with 2 English boys that he met in the place. All 3 of them went to the apartment of one of them to have a few beers. One of the young people had rented a car for these days, according to the Daily Mail. So they'd rented a car. Have they been drinking when they're going off drive? God, that's the other thing, isn't it? This is the other thing that happens to young people. You know, getting in cars when they've had too much to drink. They're on the holidays. They think they're invincible. Just, oh, dear me. Anyway, it's that video. I'm just wondering, let's see if we can watch that.
A Snapchat video of Jay smiling and laughing 3 days ago in Tenerife. Since then, his family and friends have been desperately searching for him. The 19-year-old travelled to the Canary Islands for the New Rave Generation Music Festival at the weekend. He rang his friend Lucy at around 8 o'clock Monday morning, saying he was lost, needed a drink of water, and only had 1% battery on his phone. His last known location was near rural Deteno Park, a rugged and mountainous area popular with hikers.
In terms of trying to navigate through a park of the size of the Tenno Rural Park, it would be very, very easy to get lost because there would be some trails, but they would lead through to other trails. It would be quite easy for you to find yourself off the beaten track.
A major search is underway, led by the Civil Guard. They say they are doing everything possible to find Jay, including the deployment of a specialist mountain rescue team and a police helicopter, focusing on the area around the village of Masca. The teenager's mum flew to Tenerife yesterday to help friends search local areas near to where he was last seen. Beside herself with worry, she says she will do anything to help find her son. Kira Durkin, Good Morning Britain.
Yeah. Where is he? I mean, 100% the police will be doing everything they can to find him. I just think after 4 days, as I say, on Tuesday, I wasn't that concerned. I thought, he will turn up. But now it's gone to 4 days. I don't know why it's taking so long to find him. I mean, it is a big place, obviously, that part, but anyway, I've got more concerns now than I did. I feel more worried now than I did in the beginning about him. I really thought he was going to be literally found so quickly. Today's a very crucial day, I think. Okay, so the next morning, Jay decided to return on foot. He'd already missed the bus that he should have taken. An error on the application an error on the GPS application. Where's it gone? It keeps jumping about. An error on the GPS application that he was using to find his way left him in the middle of nowhere. The last contact with Jay was after a telephone call that he made to his friend Lucy May around about 8 in the morning. According to Lucy, Jay was lost and looking for water desperately, but the call cut off. Keeps trying to give me the advert, but the call cut off due to he only had 1% of battery left. So because of the situation, Debbie Duncan flew immediately to the island to be there for the search. His brother also went to Tenerife when the police notified them what had happened. Debbie expressed her profound worry and affirmed it was like, how can you put it? She was beside herself with worry, although she acknowledged the efforts of the local authorities. Nothing will be enough when your youngest son disappears, but it seems like the police here are taking this very seriously and doing the best job possible, commented Debbie to the to the press. Also, she didn't. Now, when it say denuncio, so she. How can I put that in English? It's thinking of the English of how to put it. So she claimed, or she announced, that she had received horrible calls from British individuals that were saying that they had kidnapped the young boy. So we talked about that, didn't we? Imagine doing that. What's wrong? That's just as bad as the machetes in a way, isn't it? Why would you do that? You know, when someone's missing, why would you ring their mum and claim that you've kidnapped them, and or laugh? They were ringing her and laughing, etc. And too many drugs, definitely. Our society is full of drugs, isn't it now? And people can complain about alcohol, but drugs is worse. I don't care what anyone says, especially for young people. I know this from experience in fact, my family and friends, etc. Drugs, they're bad for young people's development of their brains, etc. And Charlie says, you can only survive 3 days without water, much less if dehydrated and hot. This sort of came up with these Greek tourists that, these tourists in Greece that are missing. Somebody, on one of the videos that I did, on one of the articles, they said that in Greece they only search for someone for 4 days because they think after that there's no point in searching. The people they'll get found in the end, but their chances of survival after 4 days are low. But I don't think they'll give up searching for Jay. I think they will search for him, until they find him. And there's a couple of reasons why I think that. One, because he's only 19, of course. Two, because it is a tourist island and they will want to clear this up. They won't want this affecting tourism, or, that's the hardcore reality of things. They won't want all the publicity, not bad publicity. They only want good publicity, don't they, in tourist places? So, Gillian, why would he leave the place? He was with no battery on his phone. Yeah, maybe he did have some. I think he thought he was catching a bus, from what it was saying in that article. He thought he was catching a bus, but he missed the bus. And it said his app wasn't working properly, didn't it? His GPS app. And I agree with Julie, it's all worse. Can't speak Spanish. Maybe he did pass people and he didn't know what to say because he doesn't speak Spanish or whatever. I don't know. I can't believe nobody saw him. Because that was 8 o'clock in the morning. It's daylight then. He was right by a road. Surely there would have been people passing by, or cars, or people hiking. It is all quite strange. Okay, now I'm just going to go on Sky News and have a look. So his friend also said, don't know if you know, that he had cut his leg. And his friend said if he saw someone, the first thing he would do is say, I need to ring my mum. His poor mum, she's been through it, hasn't she, his mum? Debbie, what with the bloody machete attack and what have you, she's had to go through that. And now she's got to go through this, worrying where he is. You know, poor, I tell you what, she has certainly been through it. So his friend said he had cut his leg on a cactus and did not know where he was. And Lucy, this is his friend Lucy that had gone there with, she said he's not a stupid boy and he would have flagged down any passing car or spoken to passers-by. This is what's, let me just share this actually, so you can see the picture of him. That is what's strange, isn't it? That there's been no sighting of him whatsoever, nothing. Surely somebody would have seen him, or he would have walked past someone. As I say, on Monday, when he was last doing those messages, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. It would have been light. Would have been light. It wasn't dark. You know, so he spent all day on Monday somewhere. Now, somebody said on one of just remind myself what I wanted to say on the on one of the comments on the Facebook page. I thought was a really good comment. People were saying about hospitals, because if he doesn't speak Spanish, or if he was unconscious, or has somebody picked him up and taken him to a hospital? You know, driven him to a hospital. Has somebody seen him wandering about, taking him to a hospital? And now I would imagine the police have checked all the hospitals, but you never know. And I know that can happen. And there was a lot of people had put comments on there that they had lost relatives in Spain or other foreign countries and found them in hospitals, because the language barrier is a problem. And that, you know, a friend of mine lost her uncle. He had a heart attack and he was taken away from his house by ambulance. That was the last thing they knew about him. They didn't know where he was, and they asked me to go with them to the hospital to see if he was there, you know, because they didn't speak Spanish. It took us ages to find him. The hospital wouldn't give us any information. You know, said it was secret, you know, because it was people's medical records. And I was trying to say to them, but this man doesn't speak Spanish, he won't be able to talk to you. What, you know, he was taken away from his house without any ID. His passport was at home. So surely, have you got someone here registered as desconocido, like unknown, you know, with no name? And I had a real battle with the receptionist at the hospital. Then we had to go to the police. Then we had to go back to the hospital. It's an absolute. It went on for hours, and in the end, I just said to the receptionist, "We're just going to have a look ourselves. And if you're not going to give us any information," and we went round this hospital and looked in every room, and we found him. He was just sat there having his lunch. He was having a great time. You know, and on his bed, the name on his bed was desconocido, unknown. You know, so sometimes, you know, is a possibility he could have been taken to a hospital. Obviously not by an ambulance, because there'd be a record of that, but he could have been taken by a citizen, you know, who drove past him, put him in his car, took him to a hospital. There's always this chance, isn't there? And then some people were saying, oh, maybe he's just sleeping off the fiesta. And I think that for the first 2 days was a possibility. But I think when it gets to 4 days, I don't think he's still sleeping off the effects of the party, is he? So he was without food and water, had been in a t-shirt and shorts. It's very warm in the day and very cold at night. And he'd be very exposed at night in the mountains, because it would be, I wouldn't say it's very cold at night. It's not very cold. I mean, Tenerife's a different climate to where I am in mainland Spain. It's near Africa, Tenerife, so it has more of a desert type climate, which would be, it's windy, so it would be quite cold at night. In the desert it normally is quite cold at night, so it's got that different climate than here. But I wouldn't say it was cold enough for him to worry, for them to worry that he would get hypothermia, but possibly, if he was just laid out, because this is now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 nights he's been gone. So it's very worrying, isn't it? Very worrying. So there's been lots of people out searching for him, not just the police, etc. But lots of people, locals, his family, obviously, friends. It's sort of, I expect the police are having to try and control the searching, because people can get lost. So the last thing they need is for some other foreigner to go missing, looking for Jay, and then gets lost themselves. So I hope it's being coordinated properly, and I hope people aren't going out on their own looking for him. So let's see, it says, soon after Mr. Slater went missing, an American woman offered to drive Miss Law up into the mountains. So she's been driving around his friend with other people. There was literally no sign of him anywhere. She said, we drove around all day. Mr. Slater had posted a picture online of some mountains next to a house he had been to. And Miss Law drove around looking for a lamp and some flowers seen in that picture. We managed to find the house, she said. I knocked on the door and there were 2 people there. They told Miss Law that Mr. Slater had gone out for a cigarette before going back in and saying he wanted to go home. They told me he'd spoken to the next door neighbours and they'd told him there was a bus every 10 minutes back down to Los Cristianos. The bus stop was right next to the house. So obviously if he'd gone to get the bus, he wouldn't have got lost because the stop was visible from the front door. The trip back down from the mountains is an hour's drive. Everything looks the same. It's just a road and hills, Mrs. Law said. I can't understand why he would come out the house and then decide he was going to walk. I think he maybe set off walking with battery and he had not realised how far the walk actually is. There are so many questions that are unanswered. And this is Jay with his long-suffering mum. He's certainly caused her a lot of worry, bless her. This is what his friend said, the thing I find the most weird about this is the fact that there's nobody who's seen him. I mean, it does seem strange to me. He's not a stupid boy. He's got some nous about him. I've seen so many people up here and I've asked every single one if they've seen him. This is what I find weird. If he'd seen somebody or a car, he would have flagged down the car. He would have said he needed a phone to contact someone. He would never have left his family worrying like this. He would never have us worrying like this. If he saw someone, the first thing he would do is say, I need to ring my mum. I know that for a fact. He would never ever have his mum worrying like this. It's just awful. I've never in my life been so worried. I've literally not slept at all since. And the Spanish Civil Guard, or the Guardia Civil, told UK media they are doing everything possible to find Mr. Slater. A specialist mountain rescue and intervention group called the Green have been mobilised. A police helicopter is also out and focusing on the area. I know they've set drones off as well. And I know that Los Bomberos, the firemen, they're out and about as well. I know that because I've seen it on the articles. Hi, where is this boy? Where is he? Jay, where are you? So apparently a local reporter is saying that today is key in the search, of course. Authorities are very, very keen to find him for his sake and the sake of the island. So the very intense search has resumed today, and they're hoping to have good news today. This is a key day, the day the rescuers want to have good news and say they found Jay. So, only time will tell as the day goes on. Hi, Jacqueline. Yeah. Now, it may be connected to his past. You know, somebody left a cryptic comment on my comments saying you need to find out why they went on holiday. I don't know what that means. Why they went for the music festival, as far as I can see. Maybe they did go there to do with drugs. I just don't know. But I can't speculate on that because I literally do not know. So, there's no reason to think that he went there for any reason except for a holiday. Let's see, here's another one coming on here. Hang on. Let me show you. See, I keep keeping an eye on the Facebook page because, every 2 minutes there's something different. Look, this is something. Look, because all these other Facebook groups, it reminds me of Nicola Bully, this as well. All these Facebook groups springing up and saying all sorts of things. I mean, where's this come from? I'd love for the people involved to tell me why, when there's only one camera, bang opposite the only road into Masca, where the last ping is from. The camera is facing that road, and this screenshot is taken from the church square, so close to the after party house, where I saw two guys coming from the trees area and vanish across the Masca road. One lad had grey t-shirt, grey shorts and a bag across him. I don't know that he had a bag or didn't. But this is what's going to happen now. This is what's going to happen. There's going to be, one thing after another, isn't there? And this is just one Facebook group. Yeah. Anyway, I'm keeping an eye on it and anything official that comes out because, I'm a bit reluctant, things that are not official. We saw it with Nicola Bully, a load of rubbish that you get on these Facebook sites. But of course, not all of it is rubbish. Amongst the rubbish, you get things that are, useful, truthful, etc. You get those as well. But unfortunately, you have to sort through to get to the bits that are useful, important, etc. You have to go through a lot of things that aren't important. Let's see what other Facebook groups I can get up there, but I am reluctant, to be honest, to go through all of Facebook. I'm going to come off Facebook. I'm just going to do one more search for Spanish news, just in case anything's come up. No, more or less it's just saying, you know, that he could have, that the search has restarted this morning. It's talking about the false sighting yesterday that sort of threw them off course a little bit. The Guardia Civil is just has all open, everything's on the table. Todas las hipótesis abiertas. You know, they're not, everything's on the table for what's happened to him. Oh, I just want to show you this actually. This is the poster. Now, for those of you who watch my channel regularly, do you remember when we were doing about Anna Knežević, who disappeared in Madrid? Unfortunately, it looks like Anna has met foul play, though her remains have not been found yet. But it's a whole different thing to this. But what happens is, this Asociación SOS Desaparecidos, you know, once they take it on, they, oh, what's happened here? They take it on and they do a missing poster. This poster also may actually appear in on the cash points in Tenerife, in the surrounding area. And yeah, 19 years old, 1.8 meters, slim complexion, black hair, blue eyes. Now it's saying white trousers, white t-shirt. I thought, I don't know it anyway. Black trainers, black and blue trainers, it's saying. And it just says that he's disappeared. So what I'm trying to say is this is like the, you know, I presume there's an equivalent in the UK or America or anywhere, the missing persons database. So he's on that, you know, he's, oh, I don't know. Oh dear me. What you know what, young people, and don't, as I say, I did it myself. The torture you put your parents through, you know, Jay's already put his parents through a bit of torture when he got involved in the machete attack and what have you, that, you know, just, oh, I remember something my mum used to say to me years ago when I was a teenager. Oh, well, at least we've not had any police at the door. You know, because my mum and dad, they had 5 children altogether, so they probably went through it with all of us, poor things. My mum used to say that quite often. Oh, well, at least we've not had any police at the door. And I realise now, you know, it is, God, if you can get your children through adolescence without any problems, without the police, because, you know, young people, especially in certain areas and things, they just get involved in things they shouldn't. I was just looking at him then, you just want to sort of, oh, God, you know, because they think he's left that party probably, or left that house, just think, oh, it's okay, I'll just walk home, you know, he's got his GPS signal. But why has he done that when he's not got much charge on his phone? Surely he could have borrowed a phone charger from someone from the house where he was, made sure at least he had his phone on full charge. Oh dear. Will we find out soon? I hope so. Hi, Hannah. Yep, parents' worst nightmare. You know, when your child, God, you think it's difficult. You know, when your child is young and you think, oh, when they're this age, they'll be doing this. When they're that age, you'll be doing that. And you think it's going to get better. It doesn't get better, it gets worse. And this age where Jay is, that's the worst time, because they're still so young, but they don't think they are. They think they're all grown up. They think they know it all. They think they're perfectly capable of doing whatever they want to do, and they're not. but they won't listen to you telling them, not as a parent, because you don't mean, you know, your opinion means nothing when they get to that age. The only opinion that counts to them is their friend's opinion. So they ignore everything you say. Sometimes they even deliberately go against what you say, you know, just to be, you know, just to be different from you, don't they? That's a good idea, Kelly. Those power banks, yeah, so that they never run out of charge, do they? No, especially because he was going to, I presume he had his charger with him. And because he's going to a 3-day festival. And I would imagine that at that festival, there's Tia getting up, I would imagine that at that festival, there were places you could charge up your phones, because all those young people would be wanting to charge up their phones. There would have probably been electric points, would there, that are specifically for young people to charge up their phone? Is that what they have at these festivals? I would imagine so, especially if it's a 3-day festival. Everyone would be wanting to charge up their phone, wouldn't they? Oh dear. There was something else that I was just going to look at then, actually. Let's see. Hi, Wesley. I'll just see if I can find anything. Oh, hang on. What's this? This article is bringing up this. Let's have a look at it now. I don't know. I'm just going to read you the article out. Again, we have to do, you know, his parents will know, or his mum will know if this is true or not. But the British press reveals the new hypothesis over the disappearance of the young Jay in Tenerife. The British press has has brought to attention the threatening messages that the family has received on Snapchat, alleging that Jay owes a lot of money. I mean, could it be that this is true? I don't know. Here's a picture of all the Guardia Civil there. See, he was near this road when he was last seen. When his phone last pinged. Surely he wouldn't have gone off the track, off the road. So the search for the young Jay of 19 years old has still not finished. The Guardia Civil continues working to find the British boy who disappeared last Monday in the zone of the Parque Rural de Tenno, according to the armed forces, if you like, to the Europa press. It's still soon to arrive at a conclusion, and the Guardia Civil maintains all the hypotheses are open. However, the British press has brought to attention the menacing messages that the family received on Snapchat, alleging that Jay owes a lot of money. According to the Manchester Evening News, that he travelled the weekend to the island with another 2 friends. Well, we know that. I'm not going to read out the same thing. It's just reiterating what happened. It's just all reiterating. Yeah. So they're bringing to light this fact of that the British press is saying that that his family have received menacing messages and calls from a hidden number. Oh dear. Yeah. So the poor mother has received these messages telling her to say goodbye to your son and things like that. So we just don't know if those messages are genuine or it's just some idiot, people amuse themselves in weird ways, don't they? He may well have had enemies, mightn't he? Oh, dear me, dear God. Anyway, I'm still praying that he's found safely. I hope that he's past or he's present, whatever he's, is he still getting up to things that he shouldn't be getting up to? Or is that all behind him now? And now this is just something that's happened and people are bringing it up because of his past. That's what we don't know, isn't it? But whatever, doesn't matter anyway, really. At this moment in time, his past is past. Whatever he's done when he was 16, or disagreeable as it is past. It's not to do with now. All we know now is we've got a 19-year-old boy missing. His family are looking for him. His friends are looking for him. His mum's beside herself. So my prayers are just that he's found safely. But, does get more difficult to be hopeful at each day that passes, but we still will stay hopeful, and I hope his family are getting the support that they need. Okay, I'm going to go because I've got to go and have lunch, and then I've got some classes. Then I'm going to be watching England playing football, and we're going to watch them win. But I'll be back tonight with the members live at 9 o'clock Spanish time. And of course, if in the meantime, even when the football's on, if there's any news that comes up about Jay, I will be letting you know about it. So have a good afternoon, evening, morning, depending on where you are and what's happening. And prayers for Jay. Let's just hope that today brings some answers. That Jay is found. We want him to be found. He'd probably be in a bit of a bad way, like dehydration, etc. But that is easily sorted out. So, yeah, prayers that he's found today, needs to be found today. So let's all put our efforts into hoping that for his family, for him and his family. So until I see you again, may your God go with you. Thank you for being here with me. Adios.